Welcome to Success from Scratch, your place for innovation, creativity, and the blueprint of success from peak performers just like you. Welcome to Success from Scratch, episode number 25 with my special guest, Lee Idom from our Austin, Texas market. Lee, welcome.
Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Doing really good. I'm excited to be in Austin this week, actually, heading down Thursday for our networking reception event on Friday, and looking forward to hanging out with all of our Austin folks.
Well, we're happy to get you down here.
Yeah, great market. And tell us a little bit about yourself and where you grew up and how you got to Austin.
Sure. Well, I grew up in West Texas, a little town called Snyder, and came down here to go to school at UT. Never left. I ended up, starting a landscape construction company.
Right.
And I ran that for, 10 or 12 years. I sold that a few years ago and, got into real estate like I'd always wanted to do.
Yeah, awesome. So UT grad, entrepreneur, started your business, sell it, and now you're a CEO of your own
That's right.
practice.
That's right. And no employees, which is always nice.
Yeah. Simple. Keep it simple.
What's that?
Keep it simple.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, keep it simple. So, obviously when you started real estate, you started at zero, and now this past year you did 30, and you're on track in the current year to do 40, which is a phenomenal business.
That's what we're hoping for. Yes.
Yeah. And I think you're just taking, how many new listings you've taken in?
Well, if I'm looking at my board, I've got 7 on the market right now, and then I should be putting another 4 or 5 on here within the next month.
Yeah, congratulations. So that's just a phenomenal funnel of business. And tell us a little bit about how you started from zero, from scratch, and got to where you're at today.
Well, I was very lucky. I'm on a team called the Z Team. And Marty Zolke, helped me a lot, has a lot of experience in the business, got me started off, correctly. I think most of what this is confidence and knowing the market and studying it, and making sure that your clients have confidence. That's 90% of my job, is just really being, a funnel of information to make sure that they know exactly where they stand at all times. One of the biggest things that I learned, or I kind of learned this from my old company, is to communicate correctly. Without the communication, there's nothing. So I think I get a lot of referral clients because of that. Well, I don't think that. I know that. That's what I hear.
Right.
So sort of being persistent and communicating persistently has been a big bonus for us.
So I heard a couple of things. One, I heard the communication clearly. I heard starting correctly. Tell us what you meant by starting correctly.
Well, as far as starting with the client, right. Is that kind of where you're getting at?
Yep.
Okay. Well, whenever I meet the client, typically I like to do it in person. And get a real feel for them, because this is like a relationship. It's sort of like what I tell most clients whenever they're buying a house is, I say, I can show you everything that's right on paper, and you walk into a house and you're not going to like it. And I can show you something that has almost nothing of what you want, and you may love it. It's sort of like, falling in love, you just don't know, or exactly when and it's pretty quickly. It's pretty much as soon as you walk in the door. So getting that relationship started off right is number one. Something that is very easy to do, but has been very important, and I've heard a lot about it, is promptness. If I tell somebody that I'm going to be somewhere at a certain time, or call them at a certain time, or whatever it is, then I do it. And it's not a hard thing, but it seems like it's, in short supply sometimes. So I something as easy as that has won me clients before.
Yeah. So starting correctly, communication. And then the other thing I heard you talk about was being in my words, the hyper local expert, the expert in the trends, the market. Tell us build your expertise in the marketplace?
Well, I mean, honestly, a lot of it is just sitting here where I'm at right now in front of my computer, just, going over information and looking at, all the market areas that I tend to focus in and knowing what's going on. So I need to be able to have, whenever I'm having a conversation with one of those clients that is going to list their house or, is looking to buy in a certain neighborhood, I need to know everything about that neighborhood so they can feel confident that I'm the one that they should be going with. I've sold a lot of homes off market because of that, because I've kind of constantly got my ear to the ground. I'm on, those markets, Facebook sites, and, I'm constantly talking to people, and, my wife actually helps me a lot with that as well. She's constantly on Facebook.
Right.
And so she points me in the right direction a lot of times. She's been a godsend this year.
Yeah. So networking and being in tune with things that are going
on. Absolutely.
Now,
just being a part of the community.
Yeah. Now tell us, being part of the community, I love that. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about your marketing strategy to secure listings. You've obviously have a number of listings on the market and you have a number coming on. Do you have a specific strategy for listing attraction?
Well, I don't really do a big listing presentation. I don't know that I've ever done I have done one true listing presentation where I had it set up completely from A to Z and it was right on, and I didn't get the listing. Wow. So I think one of the reasons I didn't get it is because I was sort of very robotic about it. Let's go do this. Let's do this. Let's go through this. Let's go through this, instead of just having a conversation and letting my market knowledge sort of work for me and for them, and to make them comfortable and feel, right in the situation. From that point on, I don't want to say I'm certainly not 100%, but I'm probably a good 90% whenever I can get my foot in the door and actually get in front of someone. Whenever I show up, I have a lot of knowledge in my head that I'm not having to go to note cards or, show them on the computer. I do those things too, right? But they can tell that I know the market backwards and frontwards.
Yeah. Yeah. You have some collateral material if you need it, but it's not the crux of the,
right. But we mainly just have a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like we're having now, just a conversation.
That's right. Yeah. Just hanging out, and there's got to be a comfortability factor there, because you're going to, really get to know this person, and they're going to really get to know you. So you've got to have that, bond from the very beginning.
Yeah. So tell us about your daily routine, some of the things that you do to prep for the day or prep for the week.
Sure. Well, again, this kind of goes back to my construction days, and I look at this job as I looked at that job, which is I get up early. I do basically the same things every day. I go through, my listings. I see, I reverse prospect. I, text and call and go through all of those things. There's basically a protocol of list of 10 or 15 things that I'll do to get the day started. And I do them every day, and I'm persistent about it. And that's what has won me business is really that persistence. That's something that, I did the peak producer course with Buffini.
Yes.
A couple of years ago. And that's one of the things that really hit me was being, I think what they said, or at least what I always say, I may be wrong about this, but being consistently persistent. And that's sort of what I try to be.
Good.
So, and it's worked out so far.
Yeah. Good. Has there ever been a time that you wanted to just throw in the towel?
No, actually, I think because I started a little bit late in the business, I'm so appreciative to be able to do this business. I truly love it. It's truly my passion. My wife will even say that when somebody asks what my hobbies are, she'll say work. He really does love it. And she's right. I mean, everything gets a little old every now and then. If you had a 14-hour day, you're not looking to go look at a few more houses, but I do absolutely love it. I haven't ever thought about throwing in the towel.
No. When you do what you love, it's really not work.
Yeah, it's exactly.
And I'm assuming part of that, the reason is you have three children, correct? And one's a newborn, right?
That's right. I have a 4.5-year-old, a 4.5-year-old little boy, a 1.5-year-old little girl, and a newborn little girl. So
Wow.
I've got to keep working.
Congratulations. Yeah, you got to keep working, and you're able to balance that family life in a marriage with work as well.
Well, the great thing about this job is I do probably 90% of my work from my home office, which is where I'm at right now. So my kids are in the other room,
Right.
Which makes life pretty fantastic. I didn't have that before. I was constantly gone, and
Right.
it's a godsend for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, congratulations on your success.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Is there anything that you'd like to leave the audience with? A tip, a word of advice, any words of wisdom from you in terms of how you've built this machine that's generating business for you?
Well, I think what I would say is I would almost go back to the thing I said before, which is being, consistently persistent. Do the things that are working and do them over and over and over, and they will work for you. Something else that really hit me whenever I did the Peak Producer course was before that course, I was trying to get new clients from open houses and things like that, which is fine.
Right.
But not using my true market, which were my referrals, and really going back after those. And I was working on my D clients instead of using my A clients to get work. And whenever I started doing that, the whole world changed. And I went from, doing, a few sales to doing a lot of sales, and it worked. And it didn't take that long to do. I've only had my license since, May 3 years ago.
Right.
So it happened pretty quickly once you figure out what works for you.
Yeah. You had a breakthrough, and in 3 years, going basically from 0 to this year, closing 40 is a
hopefully closing 40. That's the goal. So
yeah, you're well on your way to that. In fact, I think you're going to exceed it.
I hope so. That's the plan.
Yeah. So congratulations on your success. Thanks for sharing a few of the tips and your journey with the audience today. And we'll see you in Austin on Friday, and we'll see you soon on an episode of Success from Scratch. Lee, thank you.
Thanks, Mark.